like this. Alright, and now the number two one that I'm going to show you. Just give a quick background. This was something I used a couple years ago in my past life when I was selling mortgages. I had a customer that was kind of on the fence. I explained all the benefits to him. I forget the exact numbers, but I could have saved them. I know it was over $1,000 a month. So just from that alone, it kind of sounds like a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you refinance? But you know how some people can be. They just, they're on the fence for whatever reasons. So this guy was on the fence. So what I did was I mailed him the thing I'm about to show you, and it's a basketball. That is the picture. It's full-size basketball, and then you can see the silver writing. I basically just bought the basketball, which, by the way, it's not expensive, believe it or not. I think I paid, it was either $6 or $7, I forget. And I bought a couple of them at the time because they were so cheap. And then I went and bought a paint pen, which is what I used. I think they're, I don't know, $3 at a craft store. And then at the time, my girlfriend at the time, I had her write on the ball, because girls, they have their little neat handwriting, and mine's not so neat. Which you can kind of see on the right there. That's a handwritten letter. That's my handwriting. Now you see and understand why I had my girlfriend at the time write on the ball. But if you can see there towards the bottom, I put, here's where I tied everything in, and really cheesy, I put, "The ball is in your court," in quotes. Underlined it, and then I put my call to action, my phone number, website name, and then the PS, which, by the way, is, they say is the second most read thing in a letter, so you always want to use a PS. I usually use more, but I don't have room there, as you can see. And clearly it was around the holidays due to the awesome candy cane paper I used. But real quick on the PS again, getting off topic here, but I put, call me right away, as I limit the amount of families I help each month. I only have 2 spots left in January. Part of that's true. I mean, I did limit the amount of people I helped. Whether it was 2 spots that I had left or not, I don't know. But you can see, I talked about earlier, scarcity. That's what that is right there. That's a great example of using scarcity. And in case you're wondering if this worked, when he got this, he called me up. Literally, I answered the phone and he was laughing. Thought I was crazy, which, there's probably some truth to that, but he called me up laughing and set the appointment. Real quick, by the way, trying to mail this thing. Again, it was around the holidays, and I had to get this out. And the girlfriend went to go out shopping, so I told her we had to stop and mail this real quick. And I went to a couple different places, because what I wanted to do was literally slap a label on the ball and mail it. No box, no anything, just mail the ball. And a couple places gave me a hard time, said I couldn't do it. I knew it could be done, and it can be done, by the way, but they just kept giving me a bunch of problems. So I just finally had enough of it, and gosh forbid if we didn't, have time to go shopping. So I just told them to put it in a box, throw the letter in there, and mail it out, and it still works. I mean, if you're getting a box the size of a basketball, you're obviously going to open that too. But again, I just want to mail the ball itself, probably just because it's weird, and I want to see if I could do it. But just want to give you the background on that. You can do it by itself, but just to warn you, if they give you problems, if you have to, just get it over with, throw it in the box. It's still going to work. Alright, start wrapping up here. Test small first. I know some people are curious, they ask a lot, how many should I send, and things like that. When you first start a new mailing, you want to test small. I probably stating the obvious, but there's no set number of well, send 200. There's no set number, because obviously it can cost different cost on depending on what you're mailing. So give you a ballpark. Start with like $1,000, because if it bombs, then the most you lost was obviously $1,000. It makes absolutely no sense spending $5,000 if on an unproven campaign. It's a perfect way to go broke fast. And for proof of that, look at all the businesses. This all sounds like common sense, but look at all the businesses that are spending thousands of dollars every month trying to get new customers, and they're using, just crappy advertising and just things that are just a waste of money, and yet they're still doing it instead of using something that works, or at least something that's, might not work, but testing small, and then if it doesn't work, you test something else, but if it does, then you spend a couple grand a month. But again, common sense, the most uncommon thing in the world. Just keep in mind, test small. If it get a positive ROI, then you go bigger, but always start off small. Alright, so let's start wrapping up with the final thoughts. The whole idea here is obviously to get your envelope opened. If you're using an envelope, you do that by getting attention and piquing curiosity. Use real stamps. I use real stamps. I'm not going to get into the argument of using metered mail. Some people say it doesn't make a difference, and I know that's true. In some cases it doesn't, but I just use real stamps. I mean, if you want to use metered, go for it. I like to use handwritten fonts for addresses, and even better is if you actually literally write out the addresses by hand. You can mail merge to make it look more personal. Track all of your numbers. This is like basic marketing tips here. Track all of your numbers. What can be tracked can be improved. Test small, like I just talked about. I should have put that in bold and highlighted it, but test small. ROI is king, but you want to track your response rates for testing purposes. If you're testing, changing things up and doing new mailings, but you're not tracking it, you're just wasting your time. So you want to track your response rates so you can know what's working and what's not, but at the same time, the end of the day, the only thing you should care about is ROI. If you have a bigger price point, you can obviously spend more money to acquire a customer. Stating the obvious, but I'll give you a quick example. Let's say I was talking earlier about the loss leader and things like that, or just spending in general, let's say $20 to mail something. That might seem crazy, but let's say you're selling a newsletter subscription at $30 a month, and you know from testing that the average person stays on for 4 months. So that's $120. So if you know that you get from each sale $120 over the next couple days or next 4 months, then who cares if you spent $20 to get that customer, right? So that's what I meant by loss leaders and just bigger price points, selling higher priced items, things like that. And lastly here, if you get a positive ROI, you obviously then want to roll out a bigger mailing. If there's water still left in the well, you don't stop going back to it, right? So as long as you're getting positive ROI, which means money, you just want to keep doing it and roll out bigger mailings. Alright, the last thing here, if you want to get your hands on all the information that I just talked about in this video, I put everything into a PDF file. That way you can refer to it for future reference, and you don't have to come back and watch this video all the time and be subjected to my voice for another 15 minutes. So it's okay, I understand, you won't hurt my feelings. Again, I put everything into a PDF file, laid it out real nice, and formatted everything so it looks real nice and it's easy to follow along. Also including a sample tear sheet mailing. It's basically just a template, and then you just go in and fill in your own information. I just want to be clear, it is a Microsoft Publisher file, so you will need that to use this template. Just want to be upfront about that. You're also going to get a resource guide that has links to different companies where you can buy things like the lumpy mail and the grabber type items that I talked about in here. Things like the small trash can, the wallet mailer, things like that. And by the way, I'm not affiliated with any of them. They're just links there, so you know where to find them. And also over on my website, you can find a quick video. Real quick, it's just going in through the files so you see exactly what you're getting. I show you and show you that in the video. You can get all that over at vagabond007.com/directmail, and you can get everything I just listed all for only $25, or you can use the secret discount code and get it all for $15. So you'll save $10 there, but you got to put in that secret discount code. So I hope you're paying attention. Alright, take care and go over to vagabond007.com/directmail and pick up your copy. Talk soon.